views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. OMG is what I got to say. Sheer alchemy with my co-host, Leslie Fonteyne. And guess why? We are taking on something that is, I was saying to Leslie, oh my gosh, she must be in my office. She must be sitting here next to me because today's show, and this is the time of year it pops up, procrastination is another word for fear. When we say we are procrastinating, we're actually afraid of something. Let's get to the bottom of that fear and decide to release this block. Because what? It is blocking our abundance. Many of you know Leslie Fonteyne, transformational catalyst, and much, much more. You know, when Leslie works with people, she brings in her team, ascended masters, archangels. Do you know why? Because we have learned over time that we cannot solve these problems at the levels that they were created. And when we think we could do it alone, where are we? We are stuck in the muck of procrastination and lack. So today, you're going to get to hear from her. She's traveling, taking her message out into the world. We're going to tell you about all of that. And she teaches people through her meditations, through her clearings, through her one-on-one, through her group work. It's all about clarity of vision, purpose, and direction, physical healings, and the removal of emotional and mental blockages. Today's show is about the blockage of procrastination. Wow, Leslie, I'm telling you, you must have been reading my email.
I think we're all reading a bunch of our emails. Definitely. No, this is a good one because, you know, sometimes I have to always put these things together with the shame message, you know, which is we're shooting on ourselves and we're shaming on ourselves, you know, and those are other cover-ups we use when, you know, we're holding back from stepping into something that's been revealed to us that we feel guided to do, that we feel inspired to do. And then we're always taken aback by that part of us that starts to hold back, that starts to question, starts to doubt, starts to wonder. And then, you know, we go into inaction. So, yeah, I think this is reading all of our emails.
Yeah. You know, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is, you know, procrastination is another word for fear. And one of the things I was, you know, thinking about, I was getting ready for today's show, is that, you know, so often procrastination is, for some of us, it could show up abruptly, but I think more times than not for me, it doesn't show up abruptly. Mm-hmm. It's like a slow burn. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can you talk about what it is and how the many faces of it might show up?
Absolutely. Well, you know, think about it on probably the most basic level, which is we have a to-do list. You know, we start writing down what it is that is coming to us to do. And it could be something just, it usually is something personal. It's something that we care a lot about. It's something that we want to create. So it's ours, all right? It's not really someone else's stuff. And there's another energy to someone else's stuff about that, but it's still about fear. So we start down this path and then we start holding back from the nuts and bolts. 9 times out of 10, we can really tell ourselves what this stuff is. We're either afraid we're not competent to complete something. We're afraid we don't have all the information. We don't know how long it's going to take. We're afraid we're not skilled enough. All of these little things start to come up. We're not sure the vision is right. So there's that right, wrong thinking piece. And so instead of, going into the shame of it or going into the fear of it, we want to uncover, well, what is it about not having enough information? Why am I afraid to go get information? What is it about, not being competent enough? What if I get help? What if I were to retrieve? Then we start finding out the other blocks. You see what I mean? We follow the string.
Yeah. And, before we know it, we're finding ourselves in a place where, here's an interesting word that comes up sometimes. Actually, a couple of phrases that I know that you've helped people move beyond. One of them is, I'm confused. The other one is, I don't know. And I, even when I say them, right, I'm confused, I don't know. I think it's like a placeholder for just not taking action. But what do those words really mean in the scheme of taking action?
I'm confused, I don't know. We usually do know, but it's almost as if we're afraid to move forward. See, the thing about this area of procrastination is we have to dissect that first. What is it that we're holding back on? What is that thing that we're trying to create? It's new. It's not something we've necessarily done before. That is typically the case. Sometimes, we feel like I hate what I'm doing. I don't want to go there. And then other times it's I don't know how. So that's what we're really saying. We have to get, what is the confusion about? What is the cloud about? What is it that I don't want to uncover? And typically it goes into some inadequacy, and then it extends into some judging that we experienced at another time. So there's very little mercy on the topic. So confusion, I love that word. And also, I don't know, are cover-ups to not get to the truth of it, because the truth of it brings up some pain, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And, I've heard people even use the terms, I don't know, around simple things. And let's talk about the simple things in life, because they're little patterns. Hey, Leslie, what do you want for dinner?
I don't know.
Right. Or, geez, let's go to a movie. What movie would you like to see?
Oh, I don't care.
Right. And then off we go, and I pick the movie. And I say, you know what I'm going to go see? I want to go see this movie, Deadpool. And you're like, oh, no, not that one. But how often, right? You're like, maybe I don't know what I want, but I know that I don't want that. Is it okay to live in the space where we identify those things we don't want to get to what we do want?
It is, but you bring up an interesting, it's a divergent point in a way that comes into this point, which is a lot of us, and I was, speaking on this in Cincinnati, is that we've trained ourselves to not want, to not care, to, many of us, the people I'm working with anyway, they've learned to not want passionately, to not desire passionately, to not want to create, and to just flow. And so then they tell themselves, well, I just really am flowing. I don't care. If y'all want to go there, let's go there. If you want to do this, let's do that. And the truth of it is that that's not the case. We've just taught ourselves to not want passionately. So procrastination often is in an area where we have some passion about, where we have some desire to do something, but in the pit of ourselves, like in our solar plexus, we get kind of this caving feeling of, if I step into this, it's a very powerful place for me, and I may fail.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think people talk a lot about, Leslie, being afraid to succeed. I don't know that I've ever really related to that, but I will tell you that even saying the word fail is really a pivotal word for me. That's why I used it so often. I use it so often in the question, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I've had more people from the New Thought community encourage me to change that question, to say something other than that. And I guess for me that's really what I face. What happens to me when I think I fail, even if I cannot define failure, but procrastination in a sense is really this idea, isn't it, of this self-fulfilling prophecy not to succeed.
Yeah. I'm going to tell on myself in one particular area, which is that I grew up thinking that I had to do everything very quickly, very fast. And I marvel at people who can spend hours trying to figure something out and putting gadgets together and going through these extensive manuals and doing research until they finally get it right. In my experience of growing up, it was do it fast. No one's got time for you. No one's got time to wait around for you. And I moved that into many areas of my work, and I became known as someone who worked very fast. I could get a project done and out like within 4 weeks, and everybody else was 4 months. And the problem with that is that it came out of a fear. So anything that's open-ended, that maybe doesn't have its full form yet, we're kind of scared about how it's going to come together. And then it does become about personal inadequacy that, oh my gosh, maybe I need help. Well, no one's going to help me. And see, that's what I like about this topic is that it starts to stir up these inner failings.
Oh, I love that. We're going to take a short break, everyone. Inner failings. I love that. Procrastination and inner failings. Leslie Fonteyne joining me here today. Sheer Alchemy. We're going to take a break. When we come back, what is it about those inner failings that we think procrastination heals? Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Almost everyone at some time in their lives ask themselves, what am I? Most of our questions are ego-generated and simply don't address the problem of our false self. It's time to relax your ego and embody your soul. Dr. Dan Cohen, neurologist, inventor, and author, has created tools to awaken a new way to transform from who you thought you were into what you truly are. Visit toolstoawaken.com today.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
Awaken to your radiant, authentic self. For over 15 years, Soul Purpose Advocate Nancy Monson has been focused on leading change in the lives of those looking to live their true purpose. She is devoted to supporting people in living a soul-directed life every day. Let Nancy help you overcome fear, worry, and doubt. Visit everydayspirituality.com to learn how Nancy can be your Soul Purpose Advocate.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Ronnie DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Ronnie DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Ronnie DeLuce at info@ronniedeluceonradio.com and visit mvholisticretreat.com. Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's so great to have you tuning us in, turning us on. I just want to mention that if you'd like to find out more about Leslie, you can go to lesliefonteyne.com, LeslieFonteyne.com, or just go to Google and you can Google Leslie Fonteyne, or you can Google Sheer Alchemy. Either way, you're going to find Leslie. And when you do, you're going to take a look at her upcoming schedule. Because you are traveling, aren't you?
I am. I have just gotten back from Cincinnati, and I am headed to London. We'll be doing a show there and seeing clients there. Then Nashville, May 14th and 15th. And Des Moines, Iowa, June 5th and 6th. I'll be at a show here in Seattle, June 23rd in Kent. And then I'm actually going to do a show in Ocean Shores, Washington, August 13th and 14th, and then to Durango, September 10th and 11th. So lots going on.
I love it. And, part of this is the work that you do to help people move forward. Right. I know we're talking about procrastination today, but the work that you do, whether it's one-on-one or in groups, is to help people get to that place that we also desire, that abundance field, that energy field. But, you said something before the break, and I'm just thinking to myself, no, if I'm living in my inner failings that you said, I am certainly not in the abundance field. And boy, today I'm looking at procrastination, and that is what's getting in the way. So I'd love for you to talk about the relationship between procrastination and inner failings.
Well, what I'd like to say too is that, we are in a time right now where people are big on goals. They're big on muscling it through, pushing through. And a lot of the people I'm talking with, they just lose heart quickly, because they haven't learned to support themselves. And typically our emotional field gets very weak. We tend to get down on ourselves quickly. Our inner child starts, getting fretful and frightened. And sometimes a task of, writing a book or getting a new job or stepping into something that we've always wanted to do or create, like start to paint. These things just almost seem daunting. They seem overwhelming. And there's that step before we break down, biting into the elephant one bite at a time. There's that step before where we're overwhelmed. And that overwhelm is coming from the small us, that part of us that says, well, I can't do it. I can't make that happen. I don't know how. No one ever helped me. Every fear that came up, every shaming experience that we ever had in our lives, every part of us that felt inadequate and was criticized and told we weren't that creative, we weren't that smart, we weren't that good looking, whatever it was, all of those messages come up. So when we start something new that we have no experience in, or we're stepping into something big, then we feel very alone. All this messaging comes in, and that's where we don't know what to do. That's where it's hard.
Leslie, I wanted to ask you this question. That place where we don't know what to do really leads to, and I wanted to ask you about this. Sometimes, what is the term? analysis paralysis?
Can
That
be.
term?
Can
Right?
be, or it can be head under the pillow. I mean, it can be, I don't want to see, I don't want to look, I'm not going to do it today. You know, some of us, we enjoy the pressure of procrastination. We enjoy that, hey, you know, if I only have 4 days, then I'll make it happen. Then I'll do it. You know, and sometimes we do it and sometimes we're a little sloppy. So the preparedness aspect. So we're bringing up a lot of things that for the listeners today, these are sort of painful things, right? These are not fun things to talk about, fun things to go in or look at. And so what we want to do is be very comfortable with our own energy and go, wow, you know, I don't want to hold on to this part. So the first thing that I like to do is to talk about creating space for us and really feeling like we can be comfortable right now in this thing, not hide from it, not run from it, not persist through it, not any of that. Just go, okay, what is really going on here? Why am I holding back?
You know, one of the things that I know that you talk about and you help people with is, you know, looking at the things that are blocking us, right? But yet sometimes we think we have a solution. And I would love to ask you about this. I know that I've said this, and I know that I've been told to do this, by the way. And that is, you know what, Pat, just sit down and get yourself focused. Just, you know, just sit down, get yourself focused. And you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to do it. How's that work?
Works great. I mean, I would like to do that today.
Oh, man, me too.
I would love to do that. I mean, we all have these things that we say to ourselves. So here's what I can imagine that some of our listeners are hearing today. Okay, if I just do it and I stay focused. One experience that I've had sometimes when I tackle something that is new or that I'm trying to create is in that 1 hour of focus, I get quite frightened. And here's the thing that we weren't taught. It's frightening to go into a blank page. It's frightening to go into a new thought, a new creation, a new concept, something that's coming straight out of us, right? And right now I feel a lot of listeners in their heart space going, oh my God, you know, it's almost overwhelming when I feel that feeling that I'm going to create something because I almost want to douse the flame. I almost want to put it out. It's almost too overwhelming for me to feel that kind of over the top, and I'm going to use a funny word here, joy or passion or desire. See, we've not learned to be that happy. We've not learned to enjoy something about ourselves that much. We almost want to calm it down. That's why some of us, rather than be an entrepreneur or rather than create a new business, we'd rather go get a job. It's just easier. We don't have to feel like this. It's almost easier to blame someone else when things go wrong. It's easier to let someone else handle all the responsibility of the thought or idea, anything, but to carry it all ourselves. I'm promising everyone this is our inner child. This is our emotional field. There's a lot of energies we're carrying from our upbringing, and all of this surfaces up. And this is an opportunity, not a defeat.
And we're opening up the phone lines today, Leslie, too, because we should, you know, let our listeners know that this is an area where they can get some help today. Absolutely. I mean, clearly for me, I know that this is an area that I'm looking forward to getting some help in today. But this is, folks, this is an opportunity to help get us moving in the direction that we want to go. Tell us a little bit about, you know, what's going to happen as they call into the show.
Well, when we call in, you know, we're going to go into this area, and the neat thing is that we're going to hold some space for you. We're going to let you just have that feeling of comfort in the midst of your creation. You know, honestly, a lot of us wanted that whenever we were creating something. So we're going to create that. We're going to bring in the masters and archangels. We're going to get to the bottom of where you feel what you feel. And then we're going to see if you want to shift it. We're going to see if you want to move into that thing without the baggage of, failure, without the baggage of shame, without the baggage of someone criticizing you. I remember I had a teacher when I was young, and she scared me so much I painted the flower green and the leaves red. I was terrified. So some of us have these memories,
Yeah.
So this is
I've got
what
a
we want to
few,
come
too.
through. Oh, God, yes.
And, sometimes even today, I mean, I get, what's the word I want to use? Triggered. Let's use the word triggered.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a word
that's
everybody
the word.
knows. I get triggered and I don't know why, but all of a sudden something happens to me. I get something on the inside that says, wow, Pat, if you actually finish this thing that you've been working on, it might be okay. But you know what? Not everybody might like it because, you and I are talking about these inner failings, but we have to show up in the outer world. So don't you help us make the connection and heal those as well?
Yeah, we're going to work on that, but we're also going to develop some inner love, because this is where we didn't learn to love ourselves. We didn't learn to love our dream. We didn't learn to love our passion. And we didn't learn that we could do it. And even if we messed up a couple of times, we'd finally get it right and we'd balance ourselves on the balance beam and we'd actually hit the baseball and we'd actually make that basket. We didn't have the tolerance and the patience around us like you on the pogo stick. We didn't all have that wonderful person, supporting us through that thing. Some of us, had quite the opposite. Like I was describing, I had to do it fast. Otherwise, everybody else was more important and they were in a hurry. So, it's funny what comes up, but this is Source talking to us. This is Source saying, you know what? We're stepping into unconditional love. Whatever you thought it was about, it's not about that. So let's grow into it. And I'm going to tell you and tell on myself as well that I've got stuff that I need to step into, Pat. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, good. Yeah, me too.
And so let's be real and go, what's blocking us? But I'm not going to be afraid because we're holding space on this radio show today. We're holding space for one another to step into that passion and feel where we're having a little bit of a struggle and saying, can we together move that out?
Yeah. And I want to say this. We're going to open up the phone lines now, 1-800-930-2819. This is the time of year where many of us think about those New Year's resolutions we've made, and we start to do this little check and balance about them. And what happens, I'm just saying for me, is what happens, we look at them and we think, oh my gosh, I really didn't do the things I said. So where do we go? Leslie loves to talk about this. Guilt and shame and blame. So today, if you would like to get some clearing, get things moving, be in the flow, 1-800-930-2819. We would love to hear from you. And for those of you that are not able to call in because many of you say that you're not, go to Transformation Talk Radio and right on the right-hand side, tell us what's keeping you stuck. We're going to take a short break, everybody. 1-800-930-2819. You're going to be able to join Leslie, the Ascended Masters, in a safe space to move things along. We'll be right back.
Are you and your family looking for one manageable lifestyle change that will positively impact your health? Look no further. That change begins inside your drinking glass. Learn how to put a lid on junk drinking by sipping from a recipe collection of colorful, fresh, tasty, wholesome fruit and vegetable blends. Get your copy now of Sip the Garden. Fun, easy drinks for a healthier family by T. Carey Mitchell. Visit lifestyle120.com for information on how to order.
Transformation Talk Radio is dedicated to the education and awareness of Lyme disease.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Lyme Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat, joined here by
Dr. Nusheen Darvish.
Dr. Pat Basili and Dr. Nusheen Darvish will be bringing the most innovative, groundbreaking information, research, treatment innovations, and stories from those it affects every day.
I'm so excited to be talking about this.
We have so much to share.
Dr. Darvish and I are planning to do is connect the dots.
People suffering with all sorts of chronic diseases, it's time. It is time for them to transform.
Tune into Lyme Talk Radio and help keep our mission strong.
For the loyal listeners out there that have been listening to this incredible show on Lyme disease, we are not going to let you down. We're going to come through stronger and enrich the platform for Lyme disease awareness through Lyme Talk Radio. The message will continue, the conversations will become stronger, and the healing epic.
Access Consciousness is coming back to Seattle this April for 3 amazing events. Mark your calendars. April 20th through the 22nd is the Access Consciousness Body Classes, created by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here, facilitated by Dr. Glenna Rice. Explore verbal processes and hands-on body work that will unlock the tension, resistance, and dis-ease of the body by shifting energy dynamically. April 23rd through the 25th is the Advanced Access Body Class with Gary Douglas. What if you could undo a whole lot of limitations that you have locked into your body and create an alteration of the way your body functions? Then, on April 26th at 7 p.m., join Gary Douglas for the Abuse Hold class. This is the first time ever that this dynamic process is being presented in a class format. Find out more about these Access Consciousness April events in Seattle by visiting transformation.events. That's transformation.events.
Tune in to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne on TransformationTalkRadio.com and get ready to stir up your passions, identify your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Leslie Fonteyne is a transformation catalyst and clairvoyant who uses her intuitive and energetic gifts to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com for show dates and times and LeslieFontaine.com to say yes to explosive abundance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. And Leslie and I, we were talking story during the break because we were just thinking, oh my gosh. I said to Leslie, oh, did Linda call you and tell you how long it's taken me to get something done? No, it's because we're in a group consciousness around this, right, Leslie?
Absolutely. We're all in it together.
In it to win it. I love that term. Now, we have opened up the phone lines, 1-800-930-2819. And so why don't we go to the phones, Mr. Benny?
April, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
How are you, April? What's going on?
I'm good. Well, you were talking about procrastination and fear, and I'm definitely experiencing that right now with some decisions or choices that I'm trying to make. And so it's hard. I'm trying to practice listening to my feelings and following my inner guidance and intuition. But when you feel fear, I don't know if that's a block or if that's the message. So I was wondering if you could help with that.
Well, that's what we have to break down. So a lot of times fear is there to sort of say, don't go into that bad neighborhood, don't go there, and we have to define what the fear is really about, right? So I'm getting a lot right now in your high heart, in your heart space about what this thing is. So tell me what comes up for you behind the fear. What is it that you're concerned about?
Well, I'm concerned that it's not the right time, or that I'm rushing things, that I'm not ready.
Ooh. You've got a good pile of stuff there. And so right now what's starting to happen is it's opening up. I don't know if you feel this yet, but it's starting to open up behind your shoulders and your neck. So here's the thing that few things going on, right? Is the right, wrong thinking. And the second is that there's a lot of control going on. All right. And so when we say yes, when we step into all that we are, when we open the door and we say, yes, I'm doing it. Yes, I'm going there. It doesn't mean it manifests that next second. What happens is that our energy shifts in that direction. All right. So right now your heart space is opening up. Your solar plexus is a little tight. So that's your power center, a little fearful of stepping into and creating this. So I'm just watching your field right now. I've brought in some masters, archangels. We're taking a look at you. So tell me what you're afraid of creating.
I'm not certain. Isn't that funny? That's what you were talking about. You mean what exactly is the current thing that I'm considering?
What are you afraid of creating? Are you afraid that you will not be approved of, that other people will be inconvenienced, that you will use money inappropriately? What is coming up for you?
Yeah, the money. I'm thinking of taking a course, for example. So,
all right.
And I have small children.
Okay.
And I don't know if I would be good at the subject matter. So money,
that's great.
Selfishness, and am I good enough?
Yeah, all of that, right? So we know that all of those fears are not, really the truth of what's going on, because there's a desire and then there's all the blockages. So let's just bring in some of the Ascended Masters, Archangels right now. We're just going into your heart space and your power center. Your heart space is ready to go. It's passionate about it, wants to do it. The not good enough, seeing your inner child a bit right now, which is, well, what if I fail? Okay, a lot is flowing down the legs right now. A lot's coming out there. We're going into your power center now. And just allow right now to... So there is a definite piece, which is that, my time doing something for me is taking away from others. No one will help me. No one will support me. The whole I'm not good enough thing is kind of interesting. That's a child part of us, which is that, I don't know anything yet. That's why I'm taking the class, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Exactly. So let's just do a wash right now with some beautiful light coming through. Beautiful. You have plenty of time to do this thing. The thing is that when we say yes and we step into who we are and we step into our truth and we step into our passion, then, things adjust. Things start to work around us. Now, when some people have to adjust, I call it often that they didn't get the memo yet. So we have to let other people, if they're in our lives, kind of give them a little time. Sometimes when they react and they think, well, how's that going to happen? You have to give them some space without fixing it to figure it out for themselves, right? So don't think that, you've got to muscle it through, fix it all, enable it all. Let everyone in the picture in your life adjust to it. But you've been thinking about it for a while. They just got the memo. So it is totally okay for you to step into your passion. This is a big deal for you, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I'd be glad to work with you sometime on some of this. This is what I do, but going into the core fear in your solar plexus right now, which is, can I make this happen? But remember, you haven't done this before. This is a big adventure. It's really okay. It's really okay to get excited and to get happy, It's okay to live your life in parallel as well, multiple things going on at the same time. And also, this is a really big thing for you that you don't have to fix it for everyone else for it to work. And that's a big deal for you. You've had a lot of taking care of others in your life, haven't you?
Yes. I have.
And so, remember when I said whatever it's about, it's not about that? That's what's going on here, is that this is really about you healing and about stepping back into your passion. So you are good enough. You are going to be great. You get to explore. You are important. You do matter. All of that is coming up, and it's coming up now for a reason. Okay?
I'm taking it all in. Yeah, that resonates for sure.
Yeah, it does. Nice. And you know, this is something, April, that we all have a hard time with, separating our passion from our fear. That's always hard. Separating passion from our power, our ability to implement. That's what always happens. So when we do this and you realize, wow, this is old stuff, you know, and I'm in this relationship to support me, and I have these beautiful children in my life as a part of my life, not my whole life, you know, it's kind of cool what happens next.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. You feel like super lighter. Do you feel lighter?
Yeah, I did. Especially as she was speaking. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so happy for you, April. I really hope you let yourself taste it and enjoy it like a big ice cream cone.
Yeah.
April,
thank you so
I appreciate
much.
your help.
Okay, you bet.
Leslie, please give out your information, because what we're doing on the show here is really, you know, it's a snapshot of a bigger body of work that you do to help people. So how can they get a hold of you?
You can go to my website for sure at lesliefonteyne.com. That's LESLIEFONTEYNE.com. You can write me at leslie@lesliefonteyne.com. You can call me at 678-665-3366. There's ways to opt in and write on my website. I will reach back out to you. I do sessions with clients all the time, shifting them into stepping into all that they are, you know, and sometimes it's a very quick tweak. Sometimes it's very deep stuff that we've had going on in our lives a long time, even past lifetimes. So this is the kind of work I do, and I would love to work with you.
Awesome. And for those of you out there, phone lines are open. And by the way, Leslie, we actually have a caller waiting.
Wonderful.
Benny, who do we have?
Nancy from Scottsdale. Welcome to the show, Nancy.
Hello?
Hi, Nancy.
Hi. Oh my gosh, what perfect timing. I'm beating myself up all the time. I am the goodness gracious worst procrastinator. I'm a Pisces, and I go in different directions, and I get all excited, and I start doing something, and then something else goes me in a different direction. And I have lost my passion for anything.
Don't you feel like what went, Nancy, don't you feel like what went wrong was that when you needed a team of 10 people to keep up with all your ideas, they just weren't there?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I like to say to myself all the time. Like, if I had those 10 people right now, you know, these great ideas would be happening everywhere.
But then it's like, no, that's true. But then it's like, but I want to do it. You know,
I know.
It's like, I want to get in there. I want to do this with the stones. I want to help people. I want to, you know, go and create pictures and, you know, images. And I want to do, but I just can't get off the stool.
Well, listen, Nancy, here's the thing. And you know this is true because I'm already seeing you as a child. You were a magical child. You were an excited child. You saw stuff and you enjoyed it, and you were fascinated by things, and you took a look at this and you would take a look at that, and you had many interests in a lot of things that sparked your interest and your passion. And that sort of got squished a bit, and then you would allow yourself to step into it, and then, you know, the staying power wasn't there because the energy around you was not there either. There wasn't a support thing. And sometimes when we don't have the support team, we don't know how to sustain our own energy, and that's you. All right. So here's the thing is that you've had a wonderful spiritual connection in your life. You have had an awareness. You've had a lot of inspired ideas, but you didn't know how to use the team, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, the thing is that what we want to do right now is bring in your team, because here's what I'm getting for you right now, Nancy. I'm getting a lot of sadness, a lot of sad energy for lost time, lost dreams, lost, opportunities of who you were. It's almost like you had to live a different life than who you truly were. And you're so not alone in that. So right now, I'm just going into your heart space right now, because there's a lot of grief energy in there. And when you said that you just, quit going in that direction, just staying stuck, let's just go in there right now and just honor your heart space, because you are not a mistake. You're right on time in the universe. You've got a beautiful team. So let's just bring them all in right now. And I want to clear out some of the critical energies around you. There's also some people around you in your life that have sort of shut down themselves. So it's hard for you to know who to talk to. Hard for you to know who to confide in, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's very painful. So I just want to give you a little relief in your heart space and also in your power center, that you truly are as beautiful as you know yourself to be. And I'm not making an egotistical statement. You truly are beautiful. And there is a lot of intention in your energy. I just see you as someone who has to be out and about, someone who has to be doing things and creating things and visiting people. When you show up, you're like a light. You know that. You show up and you're such a blessing to a lot of people. So what was your passion, Nancy? Just the energy of your passion, not all the little ideas. What was the energy of it?
It was just basically just to share with people how good things can be, and whether it's in the beauty of a rock that I found in the front yard or in a smile of something, it's just like it's just the beauty. And I have someone around me, and he is nothing but just so positive. He says, you've got it in you. You just aren't doing it. He's supportive, but then in some cases I don't feel like he understands, if that makes any sense.
Well, you have what sometimes, when I say the magical child, and when we show up like that in the world, we're in a world that's got to see significance, purpose, money, action, all that kind of drive, right? That's almost like a definition of America in some ways. And, you are bringing an energy, and sometimes that can look like it's zero purpose. So I want you to think about something this week. When you go and you see the rock and you see the beauty and you see the sunset, I want you to just acknowledge that part of you that can stream in a higher consciousness and realize that just being you is important. And just allow yourself the space of being you right now. Just really let it come in. So I'm just bringing in some of those beautiful energies right now. And I know you feel it. I know you feel them right now. You're bringing in your whole team and coming through your heart space. Because like I said, there's just some early things that affected you there, going into your power center. And just releasing all the agreements that you've got to turn your passion into a job. There you go. Beautiful. And let's just do a beautiful wash of Supreme Being Light and Pure Essence Energy. Let's bring in all those beautiful light beings that would love to be with you today.
Mm-hmm.
And today, just take them along in your passenger seat, in the back seat, and just enjoy who you are today. And if you want to work together, I look forward to maybe giving a little more of a clearing for you. But there was a lot of grief energy, Nancy, which, that can be moved. That can be shifted. You are so welcome.
I didn't realize it was still there. It's when you push something down so hard.
It is. It breaks my heart, and I can feel it, and you matter. You matter a lot. Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. if you would, Leslie, again, please let folks know, while we're doing this on the show, and I think it's great, and you also do it during your show. There's more to be revealed, and it would be wonderful if you could tell folks the best way to contact you directly.
Absolutely. Just go to my website, lesliefontaine.com. Or you can call me 678-665-3366. I do want to explain that, my sessions are typically 75 minutes long. So what we're doing in 5 minutes on the show, is a very quick in and out. And, I would totally respect what people are bringing to the table. So when I spend that much time, it's to honor our story, it's to honor who we are, and then to bring in a powerful set of masters and archangels, and we begin to go through and clear out this stuff that is in your way of being who you are. And so just an awareness there that, we're doing something very quick here, but it gives you a taste, but we would go much deeper and honor who you are.
Yeah. And that's really important, really, to talk about, because I don't know about you, but I kind of think I didn't kind of get this way overnight. And so there may be a few things to look at, you think?
Absolutely. And I love what Nancy shared about the procrastination aspect, and how we kind of go there, but see how it was like a wet blanket for her, how it just became this heaviness and I can't overcome it. A lot of us take these words or these ideas or these stoppages and we just we don't go past it. We don't go past that wall. So that's what we want to do when we work together, is to go past that wall and get to the core of what it is, because you're procrastinating on something that matters a lot to you.
Wow. Well, what a great show. And, for those of you just tuning in, I just want to get back to what we're talking about here today. And if you want to find out more, if you've missed any part of the dialogue here, you can find more later on tonight. The show is going to be playing and replaying again. And so Leslie's also giving you information about how you can find out more about how to work with her directly or to see her in person. Procrastination is another word for fear. And, this is what we're talking about. I wanted to ask you about to talk just briefly. I know we've only got a couple of minutes left, but what we're working on here today and what you did today is how people get to that place of abundance. And I'd love for you to just talk about that for a minute.
Well, I say often that abundance is a euphemism for many things, and it's about what is important to us, what matters to us, what we're creating, what our essence is about. So it could be relationships, it could be our health, it could be a business we're creating, a new skill we're acquiring, carrying our energy, in places, knowing that Source is fully prepared to support us in all that we are. So abundance is really understand that we are fully supported in the energy that we carry. And when we don't feel that support, it's because a lot of baggage has come onto our field, and it's been carried in our field for a very long time. If you rip a blanket off a trauma victim, it is a very horrifying thing for that victim. We don't do that either with what is surfacing in us. So when painful things come up, if Source showed it all to us all at once, it would be horrifying. We might not survive it. So whatever's showing up for you today is this thing that you're ready to work on. You're ready to clear out so that you can step into that abundance, you can step into that health, you can step into that joy and passion and relationship and everything else that you're trying to be, do, and have in this lifetime.
Wow. Leslie, thank you so very much for all that you do. And I wanted to ask you this last question. There are many things that procrastination will lead us to or not lead us to. And what I'd like to ask you is your personal message today about this. And both you and I shared some little personal stories of stuff going on with ourselves. What's the personal message around this today, especially in light of the fact that people are looking at their New Year's resolutions right about now?
Well, fear is not the energy that creates our passion. So procrastination is another form of how fear shows up. So we want to get to the core of our truth. So another way that we talk about it is it's not time. It must not be time. And we use that as a way to not step into something. There literally is a timing. There is a season. But it's okay to check it out and go, am I letting fear stop me? Or is it really about timing? And it's okay to get the answer on that. There's no judgment. Just let yourself go there with your passion and how you're deciding if it's time. And often when we're deciding whether it's time or not, it's because of how it'll be inconvenient to someone else, or it will take some time away from something else. You be the judge. You take a look at that and you decide whether you matter enough to step into your truth.
Wow, Leslie Fonteyne, everyone. As I said before, you can go to lesliefontaine.com or you can just Google Sheer Alchemy. Leslie, thank you so much for today, and we will see you soon.
Absolutely.
Hey, everybody, we're going to take a short break, and we will be right back. Upcoming more with the Dr. Pat Show on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.